777, they said it couldn't be done. Within the international skydiving community, there's a feat that's been around for decades. Multiple people have tried, and all have failed. And it is the ability to jump into all 7 continents within 7 days. The closest anyone has gotten to this point was 6 continents in 8 days, 14 hours, and 7 minutes. Until a group of 9 special operations veterans, not wealthy, decided to give it a shot. Why? My response to that is why not? We have a way of making the seemingly impossible possible, or at least that's what high-performing teams do. You're talking about crown princes who tried to pull this off and failed. We took 18 months to plan this out. It was a logistical jigsaw puzzle that nobody was able to put together. It took dedication, it took commitment, and it took an unyielding mindset to get there. But we pulled it off, setting the record in 6 days, 6 hours, and 6 minutes, and 4 world records. And it comes down to this one thing, mindset. Everything is mindset, from the organization right down to the individual. And when you can build a collective mindset, a cultural operating system within your organizations, well, those type of teams make the seemingly impossible possible. The thing about the human mind is it is your greatest asset. It's also that voice in the back of your head telling you not to do things or that it's outside of your capability. The thing about psychology as well is it defaults to lazy. The human mind in psychology seeks comfort. It seeks the status quo. It seeks the path of least resistance. And that's where the mindset comes in. An unbreakable mindset that's always in the pursuit of one thing, excellence. And people ask what makes special operations and great organizations, from business organizations to championship teams, it's that. Mindset. Here's the thing about mindset. There's only one mindset that matters, and that's one of positivity, or what we call a growth mindset, what I refer to as the warrior mindset. And a warrior has nothing to do with carrying a gun or the profession of arms. It's about your character and in your integrity and how you deal with problems. And mindset will not insulate you from hardship. That's called life. But it will affect how you respond to it. In positivity and with a smile on the face of adversity. People also ask me how I led in the military, and usually they're expecting a 20-year SEAL who served at JSOC with 10 combat deployments to respond with unwielding discipline and accountability. Yeah, that does matter. But to me, leadership was about this one thing, love. And love is the root of a system I called evolved leadership. You see, the first 4 letters of evolved are love spelt backwards. I loved my men and women more than I hated the enemy. And it was my job, like a parent, to pour into them. To, yes, hold them to a standard, hold them accountable. But the same thing as parents who have children. At the end of the day, and I'm sure you'll agree with this statement, you want to raise kind, respectful, empathetic, competent human beings who are a net positive to not only their families, their teams that they're a part of in society, but more importantly, that you've armed them with the ability to demonstrate resilience, to get back up when they fall, because you will not be there forever, to learn from their mistakes, and then hopefully as part of the legacy, pass those lessons on to the generation coming behind them. Evolved leadership is a 5-pillar system. I call it a transformational framework. And it creates healthy, positive teams and cultures that people want to be a part of. We don't hide from failures. We take risks. And when we fail, we learn from it. How you respond to failure as a leader within your companies, regardless of your position, matters. You either arm people with the confidence to take more risk, or you shut them down entirely. But at the end of the day, the framework is about one thing, outcomes. It has to be. Outcome-based leadership matters because that's ultimately what we're judged on as a team. You need to be agile. You need to be a resilient organization. You need to be adaptive. You need to be aligned to the core, to the mission of what you do. And if you could do all those things, I guarantee you, you will meet exceptional outcomes. Now, people have a different definition for leadership, and that is their right, based off their perspectives and experiences. Here's my definition, and we'll make this easy. Leadership is not about what you say, it's about what you do, which means leadership is about behavior. And if leadership is about behavior, what is culture? It's simple. It's behavior at scale. Can we get the people within our organizations and our teams to demonstrate and model the behaviors that align with our culture and what we're trying to achieve? So the question is, as leaders, are we modeling those behaviors on a daily basis, especially when no one's looking? Or are we showing them what wrong looks like? Folks, my name is Mike Sarraille, and I've lived a pretty interesting life, as my wife says, and I know this is a little bit like speed dating. I'm pitching myself. I'm going to talk about my least favorite subject, but my wife always says, remember your resume. I did serve in the military for 20 years. I was a retired Navy SEAL, or I am a retired Navy SEAL, but before I became a Navy SEAL, I was the special operations version in the Marine Corps. I was a recon Marine and a scout sniper. It's not common that people switch communities. Always looking for the next toughest challenge. I did serve within the Joint Special Operations Command. If you Google that, that'll make sense. To give you a sort of sense of what it is the SEAL community is already an elite talent pool. 1 out of 40 SEALs has what it takes to make it to the next level. Did 10 combat deployments. Did earn a Silver Star and 6 Bronze Stars for Valor, Purple Heart, but also lost a lot of my teammates. So anything I do for them it guides every action that I take. I have been in the business world for quite a while. When I stepped out of the military, I didn't know a thing about business, so what did I do? I chose to educate myself. Went to the University of Texas, finished my MBA, where I was a national MBA to watch. I've founded multiple companies. One successful exit, multi-million-dollar exit of the company I built. I was the founder and CEO. And working on my second exit right now, we're extremely close. As was mentioned, I wrote a book called The Everyday Warrior. It was number 84 of all books, number 1 in over 25 categories. And that is really a self-leadership book. I don't like the self-help category. It's about self-leadership and growth. And Men's Journal got a hold of that, contacted me, said, we'd love for you to start a column. It became Men's Journal's biggest initiative until Sports Illustrated convinced us to pull it over to their house. And it's now on Sports Illustrated, known as The Everyday Athlete. Performance coach to the world champion Austin Gamblers, which is the PBR team series. I sit on multiple boards, and no slides, also hold multiple world records. I'll keep going. Additionally, been in the media quite a bit. I've been on the Rogan podcast, the Jocko podcast, Fox News quite a bit, which I have a relationship with. I'm going to skip to that slide. Continue to work with Fox as a national correspondent on military affairs, as well as society and culture. It's been an interesting ride. I don't seek the limelight. It just has been afforded to me. Beyond The Everyday Warrior, I also wrote The Talent War. That was my first book. It has become, to many, the Bible for their talent acquisition and talent management. A lot of CHROs and CEOs refer to it as their Bible. That is a bulk of what I speak about as well. We come into companies, teach them how to attract, hire, retain, and develop top talent based off the Talent War system. And it's been highly successful to the point where companies use it outright as their hiring system. And then a very senior military leader and myself have a children's series which is meant to help train, coach, and mentor our future leaders, our youth, to become better than we are. Additionally, Fox Nation was a TV host for the Unsung of Arlington. That relationship continues, where I tell the stories of lesser-known veterans who are laid to rest at national cemeteries. That's dear to my heart. You've seen 2 documentaries, Beyond the 777, which was in theaters went to Everest and jumped into the highest drop zones in the world, which puts us amongst a handful of people that have jumped into altitudes that high. That is slowly dwindling because I'm married and have a 10-month-old daughter, and unfortunately, I am not the commander of my own home. But most importantly, what matters to me is, we're in an age where everyone has a microphone. Within my realm, in the special operations community, which is no different than the business world, we understand you can say good things or motivating things or inspiring things, but can you back it up with actions? Beyond the multiple exits, I'm currently the chief talent officer of a data center company. I've come in and put a cultural operating system in place on top of running the recruiting department, because we are the premier trades and technical labor provider to the data center build phase. We've got close to 250 tradesmen currently building data centers, and I've driven the revenue from 19 million in 2024 to 50 million in 2025. And that has taken us from 2,165 on the Inc. 5,000 list to 870. And I'll say this, we're not done. When I speak, it usually revolves within these buckets of leadership to culture, of course, talent and human capital in business optimization. Whether it's strategy or performance management, we can address that. And then I love talking about high-performing teams, and then self-leadership and mindset. Have been trusted, hit number 9 on the Global Gurus top leadership speaker list. And the thing about my clients is repeatability matters. Some of these clients have brought me in over 25 times to distill the message down to their entire organizations. Start with the C-suite and then move beyond that. Folks, thank you. Of course, this QR code goes back to Midwest Speakers Bureau. Thank you for your time. Enjoy the rest of the day.